Imagine standing face to face with an opponent, sword in hand, knowing that one wrong move means death. There's no time to hesitate, no space for doubt. You must act, not from thought, but from instinct. This is the reality that Miyamoto Musashi lived, and the philosophy he mastered. What if we told you that the same principle that made Musashi an undefeated swordsman applies to modern life? Whether in business, leadership, or personal growth, the ability to act decisively without being paralyzed by overthinking is what separates success from failure. His philosophy, written in the Book of 5 Rings, provides a powerful answer. Embrace instinct, refined through discipline and action. Many people today overanalyze every decision, fear making mistakes, and hesitate to take action. Musashi's teachings reveal that true mastery comes from balancing instinct with reason, making quick, decisive actions based on experience rather than overanalysis. The hesitation caused by excessive rationalization weakens one's ability to seize opportunities and respond effectively to challenges. By understanding Musashi's approach, we can learn to cultivate a mindset that merges experience, intuition, and boldness into a single force, the fusion of instinct and reason. Musashi believed that pure intellect without action is useless, and untrained instinct leads to reckless mistakes. A warrior must sharpen intuition through relentless practice, making decisions not by overthinking, but by feeling the truth of a situation in an instant. This aligns with the ancient Japanese philosophy of Ichirei Shikon, one spirit, 4 souls, where the Aratama, Hwang Hun, represents raw action and courage, while the Kushimitama, Chi Hun, represents intellect and insight. Without the strength to act, knowledge remains powerless. A common misconception is that logical reasoning alone leads to success. However, even the most sophisticated analysis is meaningless if one lacks the decisiveness to execute their plans. Take the case of 2 entrepreneurs, one who overanalyzes every detail before making a decision and another who launches quickly, adapting through action. The overthinker spends years perfecting a business plan, but the doer builds experience by making small, real-world adjustments. By the time the hesitant planner finalizes their idea, the other has already learned what works and established a foothold in the market. Just as Musashi adapted in battle, successful individuals embrace a mindset of continuous action, refining their instincts through real-world experience, rather than paralyzing themselves with endless hypotheticals. But why is instinct often more reliable than rational thought? The answer lies in human evolution. Instinct is the product of millions of years of refinement. Our ancestors who acted on quick, unconscious decision-making survived, while those who hesitated often perished. Rational thought, on the other hand, is relatively new in evolutionary terms and is prone to distortion through external influences such as fear, social pressure, and misinformation. This is why people often make better decisions when they go with their gut, rather than overthinking every possibility. Consider the scenario of a person walking alone at night. If they feel an inexplicable sense of danger, their instinct is likely responding to subtle cues, shadows moving unnaturally, distant footsteps, or an eerie silence. If they rationalize the situation, telling themselves they are just being paranoid, they may ignore the warning signs and put themselves in danger. Studies in neuroscience confirm that intuition often picks up patterns faster than conscious thought, leading to better split-second decision-making in high-pressure situations. Musashi's undefeated record, 64 duels without a loss, was not because he calculated every possibility, but because he acted on refined intuition. His philosophy mirrors that of elite fighter pilots, who must make split-second decisions under extreme pressure. A pilot who hesitates dies. Training hones their instincts, so that when faced with a crisis, they do not waste time deliberating, but act in the most effective way possible. Similarly, Musashi's mastery of combat was built on decades of relentless practice, allowing him to act without hesitation in the face of danger. Training your instincts. Practical methods. If instinct is the key to success, then how can it be sharpened? Musashi did not trust instinct blindly. He trained it rigorously, shaping it through discipline, repetition, and real-world application. Developing instinct is not about abandoning rational thought, but about refining the body and mind to make the right choices instantly, without hesitation. The first step is heightening awareness. Musashi trained himself to see and predict movement before it happened. This practice, known as kan, perception, involved constant observation of surroundings, noticing small details, and learning to anticipate actions before they unfolded. He believed that the more one observed, the less they would be surprised in combat. In modern life, this means paying attention to people's subtle body language, patterns in conversation, and environmental cues that signal change. The more you practice observing, the faster your mind processes information unconsciously, allowing your instincts to develop naturally. The next step is eliminating hesitation. Overthinking dulls instinct, while decisive action sharpens it. Musashi practiced the art of mushin no shin, no mind, a Zen state where actions flow without conscious interference. To cultivate this, one must engage in repetitive physical activities where thought is removed. Martial arts drills, sports training, or even something as simple as walking, while focusing on sensation rather than analysis. The goal is to train the body to react without pausing to rationalize. Another crucial element is building muscle memory through endless repetition. Musashi drilled sword techniques thousands of times until they became second nature. Today, this principle applies to any skill, whether it's an athlete perfecting a movement, a musician practicing scales, or a leader honing decision-making. The brain forms stronger neural connections with each repetition, making instinctive responses more refined and effective. Small, rapid decision-making is also a powerful tool. People who struggle with hesitation should start by making fast, low-stakes decisions daily. Instead of agonizing over what to eat or wear, make a choice in seconds. Over time, this builds confidence in decision-making, reinforcing the ability to trust gut reactions when faced with higher-stakes choices. Lastly, testing intuition through real-world challenges is essential. Musashi tested himself through duels, seeking opponents stronger than himself. To develop instincts effectively, one must expose themselves to unpredictable situations. This could mean taking on new projects without full preparation, handling social interactions without rehearsing responses, or practicing situational drills in high-pressure environments. The more one engages with uncertainty, the more instinct adapts and strengthens. By incorporating these methods, instinct transforms from a vague feeling into a highly tuned, reliable force that guides decision-making with precision and confidence. The danger of modern overthinking education today often teaches theory without application. Many hesitate, fearing mistakes, rather than learning through experience. The result is a society where people accumulate knowledge but lack the ability to act upon it. Musashi's philosophy offers an antidote. One must train the mind and body in unison, ensuring that thought and action reinforce each other rather than being at odds. A chess player who spends 10 minutes contemplating every possible move will lose to a grandmaster who plays by instinct. The grandmaster's intuition is not irrational, but forged through thousands of hours of experience. This principle applies beyond the game board. Athletes, musicians, and military strategists all reach mastery by internalizing their craft through repeated action rather than just theoretical understanding. Western philosophy often emphasizes mind-body dualism, separating thought from action, whereas Japanese philosophy embraces mind-body unity, Shinshin Ichinyo. Musashi embodied this approach, training both his mind and body to act as one. True wisdom is not found in endless thinking, but in disciplined action. The more you act, the more your instincts refine. Conclusion: train your instincts. Act without fear. Musashi's message is clear.